ridiculous is when people think, like, oh, he had over 100 rounds of ammunition. Listen, I'm going to the range with over 100 rounds of ammo. I'm just practicing. I've got a range day coming up in a little bit. You like this? I don't carry an ankle gun. I carry an ankle med kit. Going to the range. In here, I have my cat tourniquet. I have my roll gauze. I also have extra gloves and quick clot. And that's it. This is a really simple, oh shit, there's blood everywhere kind of kit. It's not meant to do everything. It's meant to be the stuff that you need immediately. We're in 2021, so ammo is not plentiful. So I want to plan what I'm going to be doing. So this is how I set it up. This is my CZ PCR, or the 75 Compact D. This is one of my favorite pistols, also one of my oldest pistols that I sold and then got back, if you saw the video. Since the video that I made on this, I did one change to it. I put in the same fiber optic sight that I have on the P01. So exact same sight heights and everything, because I didn't want to have different point of aim, point of impact shifting. This one was impacting like a combat focus with the other sight that was on here, and then with this fiber optic sight, it's kind of a true sight focus where the top edge of the front sight plate is where the bullet impacts at. It's like 10 or 25 yards. Honestly, I'm not that good of a pistol shot to know the difference. So anyway, my Glock 19. Glock 19 because I was on Instagram the other day, and a guy that I follow posted a video of how, or an image of how he recently picked up a Gen 3 Glock 19C. This is a Gen 3 19C. And I was like, you know what, I haven't shot this gun in a while. I shot it last range day, but I don't shoot a lot of rounds through it, and I wanted to just put a couple of rounds and have fun with it. It's just really kind of stretching its legs. So, there's that. Let's see what else. I made a promise to myself that whenever possible, I would shoot. This guy's not loaded. The magazine's loaded, but the chamber's not. I would shoot my 9mm 1911. This is definitely not my best gun, maybe my favorite gun. And the reason is, more than any other gun that I own, I built this. I assembled it, and I'm willing to even say that I built it because the amount of fitting that I had to do to the frame and to the slide to get that to fit together. There was also an issue with the trigger bar. There's a cutout. The trigger is a bow that goes around the magazine, essentially, and the radius that was cut in the inside of the frame of the trigger was not done properly. And I did it all with hand tools except for the Dremel on the inside of the frame. Like the frame rails, I cut with a hand freaking. Hey everyone, just got some footage from the range. I don't know if it's any good, but let me tell you, when you're shooting, let's see if this can fog up. Yeah, immediately fogged. That's hard. They're good. I tried to take off my glasses and the guy's like, lane 1, put your glasses back on.
Lane 1. You gotta put your eyes on.
Okay. But anyway, had a really good time shooting at the range. My 1911 that I was worried about, light extractor tension, did great, did fine. My CZ75 compact was printing just above, at 8 yards, just above the, what do you call it, the alignment point on that front sight, which is fine. The Glock had way more flash than I remember, and is therefore really loud, the Glock 19C. I think that was because I was shooting it right behind the 1911 and the CZ, both of which are quieter, but they recoil differently. Both the 1911 and the CZ have more weight behind them, and they soak up recoil a little better than the Glock. The Glock, specifically the 19C, does not recoil a lot, but it does this kind of like brute force approach to recoil where it puts these jets of gas upward right in your field of vision, which is fine. Honestly, if I didn't have any problem, I had more issues seeing with the glasses on than with the big flash of light. It didn't like night blind me or anything, and I've shot that gun at night too, and it's not an issue. It's like a dim incandescent bulb. It's got that yellowish kind of look to it, so it's not really bad.
yeah, it was a good time. The guns worked. I got to go back and I got to clean them, mostly the Glock 19 because I shot that the most. I'm not going to clean the 1911 at all. I shot that the most. The CZ I shot the second most. Yeah, so that's all I got. It was a good time. Anyway, I'll see you guys. And I wanted to take a second because I realized that I'm posting stuff about guns around the same time as some terrible violence that's been happening with guns. So I wanted to take a moment to actually talk about that. I don't want to take a lot of the focus off of the victims and put it onto the attacker, but white men really have to get their shit together. I can't talk about injustices that have. I can mention it. I can reflect on it. I can try to be aware of it, but I can't really talk about police injustice against black people or injustice against people of the Asian community. I've not experienced that because I'm a white guy, and I have to be open to that. I have to see it. But from a white guy standpoint, from a white male standpoint, who has spent a lot of time with issues with his own feelings, who has had issues with anxiety and depression, and has had difficulty opening up to people and had difficulty with therapy and talking to people, and have realized that when I'm going to therapy, I'm essentially recalibrating my thought process to reach out instead of reach in, which, holy shit, is hard. So I think what we need to do, in addition to paying attention to the violence against the Asian community, paying attention to brutality against the black community, I think we have to take a second and say, white guys, get your shit together. Go to therapy. Really. It's okay if you own guns. I think it's okay if you own guns. I think it's okay if you carry them to protect yourself. Cool. I think it shouldn't be an exclusively white person thing. It's not. But when I went to a gun store because I wanted to look around and see what they had, and I went to the shooting range, everyone in there was a white man. Now, I'm in Connecticut. The demographics are a little skewed. But still, like, come on. We need to get our shit together. We white men have to get our shit together. We have to start really doing work on ourselves. I was having a rough day a couple of days ago, and I realized that I wanted to go to the range. And then last night I was like, I don't know if I should go. It was a great idea that I went. When I go to the range, it's meditative. I focus on my breathing, and it was a lot harder because wearing a mask and glasses fogs up, and then you can't see what you're shooting at, and then you have to like control your breathing. It was hard. We need to get our shit together. So that's all I got. I can keep saying the same thing over and over and over in different ways. But white guys, go to fucking therapy. Also, therapy sucks. It sucks. But it sucks because you start exploring yourself and figuring out what's wrong with you and taking accountability for it. But if it sucks because it hurts and you don't like it and it feels gross to think about your feelings, that's when it's helpful. Anyway, guys, stay safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. There's a lot of people who are having a really hard time right now. But it's not, we can't just excuse that shit because it's not just a person's bad day. Listen, if a person has a bad day, that's one thing. If they have a bad day and are hateful and take that and externalize it in the form of shooting other people, that's bad. We've got to stop that. Stand up for it. Talk about it before it becomes that level. And if it becomes that level, and you happen to see it, and they're shooting other people they're not supposed to shoot, that's why I'm carrying a gun. Anyway, yes, I am. Glock 19C, post range, right here. Please don't shoot myself in the crotch. Anyway, see you guys.